Chapter 2: The Cabin. The tires crunched over loose gravel as the forest suddenly broke apart into a clearing. For the first time in hours, the trees didn't press against them like a wall. Open space stretched in all directions, and moonlight started gathering in the grass like spilled milk. The cabin sat in the middle. It wasn't much to look at: squat timber walls, a roof sagging under ivy, a stone chimney crusted black with age. A porch clung stubbornly to the front, its railing warped and leaning. One of the upstairs windows glimmered faintly in the fading light, reflecting the car's headlights like a watching eye. Daniel let the car roll to a stop, his shoulders easing the barest fraction. The road had felt endless, the forest swallowing every turn, until he half believed they might never reach their destination. The sight of the cabin, solid, human, and real, was a relief, even if his chest still felt tight.
"We made it,"
Mom said brightly, already unbuckling. Her voice was stretched thin, yet cheerful to sound natural.
"See? I told you. This shortcut saved us time."
Dad shoved open his door with a grunt.
"If you call this saving time."
He muttered the rest, but Daniel caught the tone, half irritation, half weary surrender. The air outside was sharp with pine and damp soil. Daniel stepped out slowly, letting the coolness wash over him. For the first time since the sun had dipped behind the trees, he wasn't trapped in the car with his parents' arguments bouncing between metal doors. He breathed deep, but the silence unsettled him. No wind, no crickets, not even the distant flutter of wings. The clearing felt sealed off, as if the forest had drawn a circle around them and was waiting.
"Danny."
He turned. Lily was still in the back seat, clutching her rabbit, her eyes fixed on the tree line.
"I feel that they don't like us here."
She whispered, his throat tightened. Who doesn't? Her gaze didn't waver.
"Them."
He forced a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Come on, little bug, that's creeping me out. Let's go inside." She slid from the seat reluctantly, her hand finding his sleeve the moment her shoes touched the gravel. She didn't let go as he carried her small suitcase toward the cabin. The cabin smelled of dust and damp wood, a box that was left too long in an attic. Daniel flicked the switch by the door, and a lamp shuddered to life, casting the room in warm yellow. It wasn't much: a sagging couch, a fireplace that hadn't seen a flame in years, a table scarred by knife marks and ring stains of old coffee. The kind of place families rented was cheap, not because it was comfortable.
"It's perfect."
Mom said too quickly, setting down her bag.
"Rustic, cozy. Exactly what we need."
Dad let out a low whistle.
Rustic's one word for it.
"Better than 2 more hours on the highway."
She shot back. Daniel tuned them out, setting Lily's suitcase near the stairs. She hadn't released his sleeve, her eyes darting from the dusty fireplace to the curtained windows and back to the forest outside. "Hey," he murmured, crouching beside her. "It's okay now, we're safe here." Her head moved side to side.
"No, Danny, we're not.
He swallowed. Why not?
They followed us."
He stared at her, the words prickling across his skin. She said them words with the same certainty she'd used in the car, not afraid of or teasing him, certain. Unpacking blurred into a flurry of bags. Mom clattered through the kitchen cupboards, pulling out chipped plates. Dad struggled with the fireplace, cursing under his breath when the chimney refused to draw. Dinner was an improvised mess. Cold sandwiches, chips from a half-crushed bag, apples bruised from the ride. They ate standing up, scattered around the room. Lily nibbled at her sandwich without speaking, her toy rabbit tucked beneath her chin.
"It'll feel different in the morning.
Mom said, more to herself than anyone else.
Once we've settled in, once we've had some rest."
"Rest sounds good,"
said Dad, while wrestling with a stubborn drawer that refused to close. Daniel chewed silently, watching the windows. He only came on this holiday for Lily. He had plans to go with his friends from work to a beach, but he could not let her go into the woods with their parents. The curtains hang limp, their fabric is too thin to block the dark beyond. The glass reflected the lamps, a mirror that made the night outside deeper, blacker. He had the distinct feeling that if he stared long enough, something would stare back or move before his eyes. By 9, everyone was exhausted. Dad carried the last bag upstairs, muttering about stiff beds. Mom fussed over Lily, tucking her into the smaller room at the top of the stairs. Daniel claimed the couch, unfolding a thin blanket that smelled of mothballs, but sleep didn't come. The cabin creaked around him, every sound sharp in the silence. The fridge hummed, the rafters groaned, a door swelled against its frame. He told himself it was nothing, just an old building settling, but his eyes stayed open, fixed on the window across the room. The lamp's glow pooled weakly against the curtains, fragile against the weight of the dark outside. He half expected the fabric to shift, to press inward, as though something leaned against the glass. Upstairs, a soft voice drifted down the hall. At first, Daniel thought it was a dream, some trick of a restless mind, but the words sharpened as he listened.
They don't like the light.
Lily whispered. His chest went cold. He swung his legs off the couch, moving silently across the floor. The stairs groaned under his weight, but Lily's voice carried still, quiet as a prayer.
They're coming closer.
Daniel froze in the hallway, the words echoing through the cabin walls. And then, from the other side of Lily's door, came the soft scrape of something against glass.